One. So I'm going to be teaching for 15 minutes, and then we'll go straight to Q&A after 15 minutes. Let's see here. Get this thing going. All right. So while you guys are getting ready, I'm going to share my screen. Here, let me turn on some certain features. All right, and we'll start right on it. And if you're new, you're watching Facebook or YouTube, you can register in supernaturaltransfer.com. If you're new, you can register in on a notepad so that you guys can see it bigger. You can watch in www.supernaturaltransfer.com. Okay, supernaturaltransfer.com, which will bring you to this website. And let me also do a QR code just in case it's hard to view it. So I'll flash it for 3 seconds real quickly. All right, so this is the QR code for the supernaturaltransfer.com. You can view that for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's get started. I'm just going to do a quick recap before we do the actual purchase of sample cryptos. What we did was we demoed Crypto Spaniards account. I'm actually going to log out. So this is a simulator where it's not real money, but it's real crypto prices, and it's just very, very similar flow. So what we did was we opened up an account. So this was, let me do, what did we have here? This is the cryptospaniards.com simulator login. And then I also did a QR code. I'm going to flash that another time here so that you can use it. Let me see here. Crypto Spaniards. So I flashed that as well. So either this one, or you can just type it in cryptospaniards.com/simulator login. And once you go in there, then you get to this website and then you just create an account. So what we went over yesterday was you create your email address. For most crypto exchanges, you need to put an email address and then you need to put a password. Some of them have username, some don't. And then we put the username. So let me do the demo. This is my daughter's name. I put in a password. And then I put in the username. The suggestion was to put the same username as before. And then I told everyone to just make sure you have the $100. And then you click on accept privacy policy and then get a weekly summary today. And then we create the account. So I'm going to log in. Today, we're going to focus on purchasing today. Okay. Let me go log in first. Today's focus is purchasing. Oh, why my password's not working? Okay, so now I'm having issues. Just give me a second. All right, so then now you can see the flow of you resetting your password. So if you forget your password, this is how you get your password back. So you can click on the forgotten password, enter your password, and then you see your password, go to your emails. It's like, can't believe it didn't create my password there. So making sure I was in there yesterday. So I apologize. Set password. Okay. Might have to recreate one and just making sure it's not down. Oh, yes, that's why. The caps lock was on. So let me It's like, why is it not working? Because the caps lock was on. So that's what you want to make sure that the caps lock not on. So there you go. So make sure your caps lock is not on when you're putting your password. Okay. So in an exchange, usually you have different kinds of what's called a user interface. You see some buttons here and there. And as this is a simulator, you don't have to be afraid. So you can just click on anywhere. So the whole idea is there's usually buttons in the top left, or in the bottom. So you're just looking for buttons in the home page or in the screen. And what you can do is you can even just scroll your mouse. As you can see my mouse, when you see it changing, you see how this is a pointer to a hand. It's like, oh, you can actually click there. And then if you put your mouse here and then it changes, you can actually click there. So like you can see, here's the details of my account. So the whole idea is when your mouse changes to a hand, you can actually click. So that's a good thing, right? So if you're wondering, okay, and then you're trying to just play around how to buy cryptos, the first thing you want to look for is a button that says buy cryptos. So sometimes here you're not seeing anything that says buy. And then, okay, so now in all these different exchanges, now you're looking for maybe a text bar where you can find the Bitcoin. So in this case, today's exercise, we'll simply buy Bitcoin. So we'll buy, we'll practice, we'll buy 1 cent worth, 10 cents worth, and then $1 worth of Bitcoin, right? So I want to emphasize what we can do here. So in this case, I want everyone to log into their Crypto Spaniards account. And then you'll see the Bitcoin here. See how the mouse switched from a pointer to a hand, right? So there's two ways. You can either click on Bitcoin here, or the other way is in the search bar, you can type in BTC and there's the Bitcoin, right? So there's two ways. One is you click on the Bitcoin, you can see the mouse turning into a hand, and you click on Bitcoin. And same thing, if you go somewhere where you don't want to go. So for instance, if I clicked on, let's say this, and I'm like, oh, what did I just do? You can always just go press the back button in the top left of your browser. So what we're going to do is we're going to select Bitcoin by clicking on BTC, and notice the screen changes. In this screen, when you're doing cryptocurrency purchase, it's like an exchange in the airport, right? Many of you might have gone to an exchange in an airport or an exchange in the mall. You probably change your US dollars to I don't know, Mexican pesos, or US dollars to British pounds, or US dollars to Canadian dollars. But the whole concept is all you're doing is you're buying from one currency to another. So the example would be you're buying, let's say you're about to make a trip in Mexico. I mean, I don't know if people do this, but like, let's say you want to buy Mexican pesos. So you'd go to the exchange, whether your bank or an exchange in the mall or the exchange in the airport, and you have your US dollar fiat, and you'd say, hey, I'll buy $10 worth of Mexican pesos, right? And then same thing, if you were to go the other way around, then you'd so what are you doing? You're selling your US dollar to buy Mexican pesos. So vice versa, the other way around, if you're going to use your Mexican pesos to buy US dollar, what are you doing? You're just selling your Mexican pesos to buy US dollar. So in cryptocurrency, it's the same concept. You have your US dollar, in this case, you can see it here, and you're buying Bitcoin, right? A lot of people think it's complicated, but that's the whole concept. You're just exchanging from one currency to another, just like the way you would buy from another foreign currency, such as Mexican pesos, British pounds, or Canadian dollar. So what you'll see in the screen, you would see the buy. Tomorrow we'll focus on the other features. Today we're just going to focus on buy market. So this, you can even see the picture. It's the US dollar turning into Bitcoin, okay? And what you typically see in an exchange is sometimes you see a slider to see, okay, I have this much worth, I'll buy this much, or none of it, or in the middle. But what we're going to focus on is the US dollar text box. So to the right of it, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to change this $0 beside US dollar to 1 cent. Wow. So a lot of people think they have to buy a full Bitcoin at what's Bitcoin right now? I think it's at $28,000. No, you don't need to buy one full Bitcoin at $28,000. In fact, you can buy 1 cent worth of Bitcoin. So if you were to type in the US dollar section that was 0 to be 1 cent, so in this case 0.01 cent, wow, you can buy I think this is 1 2 3 4 5 6 zeros 35 worth of Bitcoin. Okay, so once again, don't put, I don't think you can even put 0.01 here, because 0.01, make sure that it's in the US dollar. You're going to put 0.01 on the US dollar text box. You should see something with 6 zeros and a 35. And then all we're going to do is click on buy Bitcoin. And here you go. Once you click on it, right, you're waiting, and you can see here right there. So now you see a notification, traded US dollar Bitcoin completed successful. So all you did was you bought Bitcoin with your $100, you bought 1 cent of Bitcoin, and you saw that message go away. You can actually scroll down and you should see the transaction. So another thing I'm going to introduce is just like a bank book, or like back in the days, a bank book, or a bank book when you had the bank book, or if you go online banking, you have all your transactions. You can see your transaction here where the action was you bought, what did you buy, the coin was Bitcoin, how much was the amount? The amount was 6035, and then the value was 1 cent. The price of Bitcoin was at $28,500, and you did it 1 second ago. And then that's it. Congratulations, you bought your first ever micro Bitcoin. You didn't buy a full Bitcoin, but you did a full 1 cent worth. We'll also try now, instead of just buying 1 cent, we'll do the same exercise. I'll do it from the start, so that it's a good replay. So once you log into your account, you're going to click on Bitcoin, the Bitcoin coin here. You're going to hover your mouse, make sure you see if you don't see it changing from a mouse pointer to a hand, if you click, nothing happens, right? So you got to make sure when you hover it that the mouse pointer turns into a hand to see that it is clickable, right? Because if you click here, nothing will happen. But you see how the mouse turns into a hand, you click it, now you're ready to buy Bitcoin. We're going to go in the US dollar. This time, instead of 1 cent's worth, we're going to buy 10 cents worth of Bitcoin. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in 0.10. So that's 10 cents worth of Bitcoin, which is now 1 2 3 4 5 zeros, and then 351. So I forgot to let you guys know this. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is divisible by 8 decimal points. That means from the decimal point, it can go 8 decimal points. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. That's why you can buy 10 cents worth of Bitcoin. After you buy the 10 cents, you just click on the buy Bitcoin and then wait. And then on the top right, you can see a notification, traded US dollars for Bitcoin completed successfully. And then you can scroll down, and now you can see not only did you buy 1 cent worth 3 minutes ago, now you bought 10 cents worth of Bitcoin. And you notice how Bitcoin just changed in price. It was $28,500 3 minutes ago. Now it's at $28,418. Because you'll realize that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is very, very volatile. The prices changes really, really rapidly, right? So lastly, I'll do it a third time, then I'll be taking questions. Very simple today, how to buy. When you log into your Crypto Spaniards account, you're going to click on Bitcoin. Once again, make sure that the mouse is not a pointer, is not this line thing, but a hand. Because if you're doing that, you won't be able to click. Nothing will happen. You got to make sure that you get that mouse, or if you're using a tablet or your mobile device, that you're pressing this B sign here. I'll actually zoom it so you guys can see Bitcoin symbol. Oops, too much zoom. The Bitcoin symbol looks like this, the big B here. So we're going to click on that one. And this time we'll buy, instead of 1 cent, instead of 10 cents, we'll buy $1 worth. So we'll delete that. And this time we'll just put 1.00, which is equivalent to $1. And you notice how this is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 zeros, 3515 worth of Bitcoin. And we'll click on buy Bitcoin. And then you get the notification, traded USD BTC completed successfully. And then when we scroll down, now we can see we bought 1 cent worth, 10 cents worth, and then $1. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to take questions. I'm going to stop recording. And then I'm going to take questions now. If you want to be part of this questions, make sure registered in this supernaturaltransfer.com. So I'm going to stop